Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. I hope all is well in your neck of the woods. 2025 is almost upon us, and we've already got, a couple of very big cards already sorted out. Riyadh season, of course. They got that incredible card. What is it? February the 22nd? You know the one I mean, right? It's got every single fight on that card could be a headliner, but I'm not going to go into the Riyadh season because it's almost a given now, isn't it? We're going to get great cards, courtesy of the excellent Turkey. But there is one fight that not many people are talking about that I really hope happens in 2025, because I think it's one of the great matchups of modern boxing. And that is between Naoya Inoue, who I'm sure you've heard of. You know all about Naoya Inoue. And also another Japanese fighter called Junto Nakatani, a three-weight titleist. He's never been undisputed, but he's won titles at three weights, flyweight, superfly, and bantam. Currently, he's the WBC bantamweight champion, undefeated in 29 fights, no draws, 22 KOs, 26 years old, so he's younger than Inoue. And he is seen as pretty much the heir apparent to Naoya Inoue, who is far from finished, of course. I mean, Inoue may rule Japanese boxing for, several more years. But, we're talking about an era of Japanese boxing that is absolutely fantastic. I'm struggling to think of another era in the history of boxing, where Japanese boxing has been so strong. I may be wrong. You can leave your comments below, but certainly it is a golden era for Japanese boxing. And if you love boxing and you're not just someone who, follows a particular personality, a particular fighter, if you love boxing, it doesn't matter who's fighting, as long as you love, good fights and fair fights, good matchups and so on, great skills, and you're not watching Japanese boxing, then you're missing out. That's all I can tell you. I've said this before in so many different videos, but Junto Nakatani is what you might say is a genuine threat to Naoya Inoue. Okay. And in case you're not aware of him, like I say, 26 years old. So if he's not in his prime, I think he probably is pretty much in his prime. Don't forget, the smaller guys do tend generally to reach their primes quicker. But this is a guy who can really fight. He really, really can fight. You may have seen him as recently as October when he fought one of those CP Freshmart Taiwanese boxers, a guy called Tasana Salapat, I think was his name. That might be an abbreviation, but this guy came in with like 76 wins and 1 defeat, a ridiculous record because it was padded. This is a pile of duvets, the size of Everest padded. This is how it is. This is like, being mummified in bubble wrap. It's that padded a record. And Mr. Salapat was knocked out in 6 rounds by Nakatani. Prior to that, he knocked out a very capable fighter. This was, by the way, this was defense of his WBC bantamweight title that he's currently got. Prior to that, he beat Vincent Astrolabio, who's a good quality contender. No match for Nakatani. Nakatani did him in a round. Alexandro Santiago went out in 6 rounds. Another guy who isn't elite, but he's a capable fighter. Argy Cortez, you probably know of Argy Cortez, good fighter. Nakatani decisioned him. For Cortez to last the distance, that was quite an achievement. But he is a very tough guy. Andrew Maloney, he had that incredible war, Nakatani, with Andrew Maloney, where he knocked Maloney out in the 12th round. Maloney was down in the 2nd, the 11th, and then knocked flat in the 12th. And Maloney showed, guts by the bucket, but Nakatani was relentless. And it was a shocking knockout, to be honest with you. Maloney, fair play to him, he came back well, but in subsequent fights. But you were thinking, bloody hell, when he hit the floor, you were thinking, is he going to be okay? It was one of those very frightening knockouts. But, and there were others. I mean, previously, like I say, he's a 3-weight champ. I mean, the Maloney fight was, the Maloney and the Cortez fights were super flyweight defenses of the WBO super flyweight belt. And down at flyweight, he beat Angel Acosta, who, again, another very good fighter. These are good contenders. He's not fighting bums. So, you know, he's fought, I want to say he's fought in America. The Maloney fight was in America, and I think the Acosta fight was in America. But apart from that, I think every one of his fights has been in Japan. And because Japanese boxing is flying, absolutely flying, and the money is in Japan, not in traveling, which was, you know, it used to be very, very different. But because it's now Japanese boxing, you know, there is money being generated there. You can't blame the guy for staying in Japan. Same with Inoue. But make no mistake about it, this is being built up to be the biggest Japanese fight probably ever between, you know, two undefeated behemoths, little big men. And Nakatani, I mean, if anyone's got the beating of Inoue, it might be Nakatani, you know. I mean, everyone says, oh, Inoue can only beat himself by moving up, you know, too many divisions or getting old. Inoue is 31 now. Even though he was on the floor against Lewis Neary, I don't really see any deterioration in him at all. He's got the Sam Goodwin fight coming up on the 24th of January. That was meant to be on Christmas Eve, but there was a slight cut to Goodman. So you know, they cancelled it for a month. But I have to say, I haven't really seen much deterioration in Naoya Inoue. I think that. But I do think Nakatani is a viable, alive, I mean, he'll be an underdog, but he'll be a live underdog. And apart from him, can't really see anyone else from super-bantamweight down. I mean, I know Akhmadaliev, is it Akhmadaliev's been mouthing off? And he looked good in his last fight, Akhmadaliev, but yeah, I mean, that'd be a great fight at Super Bantam too. But Nakatani's the one that's going to generate the money. Colossal fight in Japan. And if you haven't seen Nakatani, I suggest you go and have a look at him. There's bound to be stuff on YouTube. You know. There always is, isn't there? And everything's on YouTube. Everything that's ever been recorded, ever, is on YouTube now. You know, well, at least it seems that way. But go and have a look. Tell me what you think. Is this one of the fights that you're aware of? If not, then I suggest you do become aware of it. And, you know, let's hope it happens in 2025. I really, really hope so. Inoue is still promoted by Top Rank, Bob Arum's Top Rank, in conjunction, I believe, with Mr. Honda's outfit. My mind's gone blank. I can't think of the name of the Japanese promotional outfit, but I think you know the one I mean. Honda runs it, doesn't he? Anyway, my point is that, you know, keep a look out for this fight because I think it's going to be a very, very good fight. And I hope it happens in 2025. I hope it doesn't get to the point where, you know, you end up with all this, you know, you end up with it being past its sell-by date and there's this excuse made and then one guy gets a little bit too old and, oh, God forbid, one of them loses. Yeah. What is the name of Akihiko Honda's promotional outfit? It's kind of like Japanese boxing promotions or something like that. I can't even remember. That annoys me now. It annoys me when I know something and you forget it. You know what I mean? And then when you hit stop on the fucking video, you remember it. But anyway, I won't go into a rant. Leave your comments below if you've got any. Thanks very much for your time, for watching the video, of course. Go and have a look at Nakatani. You won't be disappointed if you're not aware of him. And please like the video if you did like it. And if you didn't like it anyway. Because, you know, spreading the love is a good thing. You know what I mean? And also subscribe if you're new to the channel. I do appreciate your time as always. Thank you very, very much, ladies and gentlemen. Catch you later. Bye for now.